Everything is new again, walking with a permagrin, head so high. I'm back with you and all is right. Shaking on the apple tree, ticking off the honeybees, watch them fly. It's just like we never said goodbye.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's NihonTiger, how you doing? Welcome back to the old NeoCraft server, and today we're going to keep working on the Dragon Temple. So we got a few signs here. Why is my smooth lighting off? I don't know. I turned it back on. Haha. I turned it off at one point because I think it was messing something up, but now it's fine. It was, oh my god, temple is Fuchs approved. Alright, and now we can fill that in. I didn't want to break, I broke one of the signs in accident, so I didn't want to break any other signs. Tree with tall grass, we can break that one. Oh, there's a sign over here. You can rebuild me over there. And, oh, there. Okay, so I think first things first. Let me take the provided shears. Well, we're gonna go ahead and hopefully finish this up today. But I think first things first. I'm going to rebuild this over there because it asked me to. So 1, 2, 3. I will take all these. So let's go ahead and move this out of here and get this out of the way. And then when we're all set with that, oh, the frame broke. Okay. All right, so we'll grab those and we will move this over here, and we'll be right back. Well, it looks like there is now there, so that's taken care of, and you can see the stairs have been removed. So now that's nice and done and toasty, and all the redstone has been put back here. Recruities put it all back. Danger, redstone ahead. Danger, high voltage. No tiger allowed. Stop, criminal scum. That's what I get for breaking it last time, I guess. That is my punishment. I cannot go in there. But we are all done with this, so now comes the fun part. We get to put the roof on this place. And I hope I have enough quartz to do it. I might have to stop here in the middle of this and make sure I have enough quartz to actually get this done. I don't know if I do, because it's a complicated roof. So I thought while we were hanging out here, kids, perhaps we could talk about something that's been on my mind lately, and that has been old video games. Yeah, speak, Nihon, speak. But old video games. Oh, I forgot. I gotta get some more obsidian. But I have been thinking a lot about old games and the people that keep them running. In part because there's been a lot of Kickstarters recently for old games and old franchises to come back, and it's been great. It's been good to see stuff like Toe Jam and Earl come back, get picked up by Adult Swim as a publisher. It's been pretty cool to see old genres come back, like the Collectathon come back with ukulele and all those good things. But at the same time, I'm just trying to remember how I had this structured. And one thing that stinks is I did not take a bunch of shots on the inside. So I am a little uncertain on a few things. I probably will not have enough quartz. I may have to go raid my quartz storage a little bit here. But in addition to all of those things, I've been thinking a lot about those old games and how, well, I've also kind of been on a little bit of a kick lately with watching like old long plays. Those of you who don't know what a long play is, it is a video that kind of shows the gameplay, the full gameplay of like an older game. So usually like the old NES ones are about 30 minutes long, and they're generally played by somebody who knows what the heck they're doing with those games, which is always pretty cool to watch. But it's amazing. I've been watching all those long plays and realizing how many games came out in the arcades in the 90s, and just how many of them only exist through someone who being I guess wise enough to keep an old ROM of an old arcade game, get it to work with an emulator and whatnot. But it kind of got me thinking about archiving old games and why perhaps we don't see more of it. Why don't we see more, old games? Why is this an issue? Why are we losing the things that are important? Or maybe the better question is, why are we losing the things that aren't important? Or at least not considered important? Because, games like Pac-Man and Mario and whatnot, Sonic, those kind of old games, they will always be around and available in some form. But it's the ones that fall through the cracks, specifically a lot of even the bad games, and sometimes even the mediocre ones. Just, people will say, hey, I wonder, why can't I get game X anymore? I really loved it as a kid. Or, this game I really liked, I can't find it anywhere. It was made by some small studio that closed up. Those things tend to be more common nowadays, because a lot of those games do kind of disappear, I guess. They don't always get the same love as everything else. And I feel like we lose a part of something with that. Like, I'll give a good example of this, Doctor Who. Many of you Whovians probably know that the early First Doctor has a whole bunch. The First Doctor series has a whole bunch of episodes missing because the BBC would routinely tape over old tapes, and at the time, those tapes weren't considered. The old Doctor Who series wasn't considered important because nobody knew what it would become eventually. So a lot of those series, a lot of those First Doctor episodes, there's like a whole bunch of season 1, season 2 episodes that are just lost. They exist somewhere, and every once in a while, one of them pops up somewhere weird, and someone's got like somehow a copy. Like someone in Africa had a copy of a bunch of old episodes that just somehow they managed to make sure that they were kept, and that always gets me thinking. This is the case with a lot of like old Hollywood movies and stuff too. Sometimes you have something, you'll have like a movie and the original just gets destroyed, and they have to go for some kind of remaster from like someone's copy or something. But a lot of times, especially in TV, they didn't really keep a very good eye on making sure that things were archived, because they probably never knew at that time that those things would be of importance later. And in video games, we kind of have that chance, perhaps more so than TV and movies and film, to keep the old things around and keep this whole archive of like old games that we can go back and play something from 1977 that was maybe available in 5 arcades or something like that. And there's people that go out there and they collect that stuff and they archive that stuff, and it's great. But it's not just a matter of the things that are important getting kept. It's a matter of making sure. Oh, did I mess this up? I might have messed this up already. Oh, those are supposed to be one higher. Okay, that explains a lot. So if I move those up one, I was debating about moving them up one, and I kind of have to because the roof is a little too low. It doesn't match up right. So we'll have to move all these stuff, but we'll just build around it for now. These will exist as a 1x1 gap. But those, all of those original things are just, in a sense, lost to the wind if they're not kept archived. And a lot of people might wonder, why is it up to, why is it up to individuals to do this? Why can't these companies that make millions of dollars just release all of their old games at once? Why doesn't Nintendo put everything on the Virtual Console? Why isn't Sega's, Genesis Classics collection not the same 50 games every time? And for that's an easy question to solve because the answer is pretty simple. For those kind of compilations, those are classics that are being brought back out, but you're not going to get the kind of games that you're looking for. You're looking for those. They're going to be games that are pretty much guaranteed to sell, I guess would be a good way to describe it. And that's because things like going through and paying someone to sit there and get a game working again on a modern emulator or modern console is time consuming, and it's an investment in time, and companies want to make sure that they have a good return on investment. I know it sounds kind of cruel to say that, but if there's not a market for that game and not a large market for that game, then more likely than not, it's never going to reemerge as a game that is being thought of as, oh, we should keep a copy of this because God knows maybe someday somebody will want to play the Amiga 64 version of Blaster Master or something, and you should make sure that that's always available. That's not, unfortunately, how business really works, and it sucks. It sucks as someone who's interested in history, in archiving things like that. Someone who has kind of done that in the past. I have old games I have copies of that I literally keep around because I feel like it's important that I have a copy of these classics just for the sake of posterity. But I'm doing it just for my own sake, and companies are doing it to make money. So that's part of the I wouldn't say problem, but part of the reason why they don't necessarily act in that manner and are not perhaps as interested in raw emulation of every game they've ever made as historians might be, or as people like me might be. And admittedly, it does suck because there's a lot of really, really good games that I want to play one day. And at the moment, you can't really play all of them because some of them just plain don't exist. So let's see, this goes, I think, I got 21%. Oh, because I never did this one. It is kind of a bummer. It is sad, but it's kind of the realities of being someone who enjoys gaming. Is you have to realize that despite the fact you might enjoy this niche little game, other people might not be interested in preserving it quite the same way. Why does this look odd? Oh, is this still one too low? This might still be one too low. Wow. I didn't realize I was going to need more of those. I was trying to do this on the fly. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to need another one for each of them. Wow. I did not realize that those were that high. Oh, come on. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure if you go through Minecraft, there are things that are also quite, they're not preserved either. Old mod packs, I'm sure, that don't work as well. Or like older versions of mods. There may be some that you can't get like a 1.4 version of something anymore, or it may be very hard to find just because of the way that the world works nowadays. We move on very quickly from things, and okay, so this is actually, if that's actually the case, then I gotta do one. Why did I build this so high up? But that's unfortunate, so I'm gonna go ahead and adjust this, and we'll probably be right back. Alright, we are back, and by the way, we can go ahead, break this, get that out of the way. So there's going to be a beacon that goes down there eventually. But for now, that block will represent where the egg is going to be. It's going to be behind glass. Protected, safe, and otherwise not accessible to anyone. So actually, let me go ahead and put down some dirt here just as building material so that we can do this. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird that in a way it's almost up to fans to kind of save a lot of older games from themselves, because a lot of times too, you know, these old games from the 80s and 90s, when the company went under that made them, they lost the original code. And I know there's studios out there that are busy working on remasters and re-releases of old games, like Night Dive Studios, Retroism, stuff like that. People like that, and I do applaud their work. I definitely would hope there's more people interested in that kind of stuff in the future, because I think it's very important to preserve the past so that it can be available in the future. Oh, so I'm going to be short on glowstone. Oh, okay, so I'm going to need some more glowstone. But it's going to be... It looks like I'm going to need a lot of stairs. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. And I have to take a look at the underside as well, because I know there's a pattern on the underside. Okay. Okay. Maybe 8 of those. So it doesn't leave me with many slabs. Oh, goodness. I'm turning all of these into apparently stairs. That's not going to be enough. So I may have to go get some quartz at some point here, just because I'm short now on it. Damn, my building projects are so magnificently huge. But let's go ahead and at least get the kind of the structure of this plotted out for you guys. 3, 4, 5, and then there's a glowstone block in the middle there, I believe. Yep. Oh. Well, crap. I'm going to hit a lot more, because this area right in here is also all freaking quartz. I made way too much quartz in this project when I started it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's all I got. This is my last one. Okay. Wow. I did not expect this much quartz. Alright, so I stole the remainder of the quartz from the train station project. I was told it was there for building whenever we needed it, and I need it now. So that is why it's getting used. But we'll do that, and let's just put down some more blocks here. Just place these for the moment. Yes. I'm going to need a lot more stairs. 2, 5, 1, 2, 4. Okay. There we go. And I got some more stairs too, though. So this will be the top of this area. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we're one short. Okay, so the next area, the next layer, is a bunch of these stairs. And I'm just gonna plot this out because I need to figure out how many of each of these I need. That, and boom. Okay, so that's the last of the quartz that I immediately need. And the rest of this can all go towards stairs. So it should make 8. Oh, I'm gonna be short. Dang it. be so short. The most shortiest of all the shortness. Well, we could leave it as a mock-up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, dang it! Now I'm trapped down here. Great. Well, at least I can just bust out of here. Haha! There we go. And boop. All right. So the back end is here. So I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stairs short. 9 stairs short. How about I just steal that one? Ow, damn it. What I want to do, and I think those are half slabs actually underneath the roof there. It's supposed to be quartz half slabs. So if I do a surgery and replace that with this, I think that works. Ooh, even better, I can try and do that one, and we'll move it over here. Yes, they'll never know the difference. They'll never know. They'll never see the backside of it anyways. Well, we'll finish this up in a moment. I need some glass. Maybe I could use the stone slabs on the bottom here, because these are normally quartz, but if I plug, I think that'll work for now. That may even be better. It's a little bit of a texture difference. Ooh, I like that. So this is pretty much the besides adding the beacon in and everything, this is pretty much the finalized version of the design. It's fairly faithful to the original. I like it. I definitely like it. Here, let me move some things out of the way. Get this out of here. We'll let these rest up over here now. Out of the way. The beautiful dragon temple. That's about 95% done. I've got a few more. Obviously, like I said, I got a few more things to go ahead and adjust. But yeah, it is looking snazzy. How's it look from up here? Ooh, I like that. So like I mentioned before, this is a design I made, I think for season 3 for the Minecraft guys, and they never used it. They never used my suggestion. Probably for obvious reasons, because I'm a tiny person on the internet compared to other more important people. And of course, they never had to use my suggestion. And I made it assuming that it never would get used. Well, no, actually, I lied there. I made it assuming perhaps maybe one of them would see it and take pity on me, but such is not life. And this is the way things go sometimes. I am breaking a chest with a shovel. I don't know why. That's a good question, Nihon. But we are perhaps close to completion. Woohoo! And we'll take 6 shooters in there. Why is 6 shooter in there? That shouldn't be in there. Oh, we have to ferry all this stuff back and forth. Not like fairy juice, but like actually like fairy as in the word. Here, I'm just gonna grab that stuff out of here. We'll pick all that up. But yeah, I am ready to not to call the project complete, but I'm ready to call it mostly finished. There is a few more things to figure out how to do. Some design things I didn't plan for in the original version, because the original version was built in my creative world on flat ground, and therefore I did not have to contend with terrain. So I have some small things here and there to work around, but yeah, I'm very happy with how this turned out. It's got a nice design to it. The white really breaks away from everything else, and I really want to see what it looks like at night. I bet it looks really awesome from up on top of the mountain with all the flame and all of the lights. Especially once that beacon gets in there and there's a beam going up through the middle of it. Oh, it's gonna look perfect. Perfect. But thanks for watching, guys. Hope you had a fun time. Hope you enjoyed this quick little episode. I know I enjoyed it. But as always, good luck, good mining, have fun. Know how to say your stupid outro, Nihon, and I'll see you next time here on the NeoCraft server. Bye bye!